welcome back to Hello Fort Hueneme, and I'm with Officer Nora Starna, and she's going to be the officer that's going to do the ride around with us. Welcome to the show. And how long have you been on the force?
About
10 years. Okay, so you know the city pretty well. Okay, well, we're going to ride around, and you can explain to us all the different things you guys do when you're not chasing bank robbers. Is that all right? Okay, let's get in the car and we'll get started. We're heading out of the police parking lot, and Officer Starna is going to drive us around. Where's the first place we're going to head?
We're going to head through one of our main thoroughfares, North Ventura Road, that runs north and south of our city. That's one of our major streets.
You know, one thing about this road here, and it's been in the Fort Hueneme news and things, is the speeding up and down here. Have you been involved in any of that?
You know, I like talking to the crossing guards that are at the schools, primarily here at Hueneme Elementary and Bard Elementary, in that we do have crosswalks, we do have the flashing lights, the yellow signs posted. Monday through Friday we have the crossing guards. We have a lot of heavy traffic, especially here on Ventura Road. And a lot of the kids going through here, particularly right before 8 o'clock in the morning, in the afternoon when they get let out. So I actually like parking, if not on Ventura Road, here in Clara Street, just making sure people stop, obey the rules of the road, and giving the pedestrians right away, especially when it comes to children.
Hey Charles, this is
Hey Charles.
There are...
Charles, this is Steve. I'm trying to call victim at the restrooms near the pier, traffic T550 East Side Drive.
Hey Charles. So we're responding to a call.
Okay, good. Let's
reference a person that fell over by the pier bathrooms. And we are, I believe, in Ventura County, if not the only city, one of the remaining cities that responds to medical calls. And the citizens really appreciate that. I like going to the medical calls, and if I get there before fire and medical personnel, I try to obtain as much information as I can from the person that needs the medical help, because that really helps the first responders that arrive on scene kind of expedite whatever first aid is required of that person. I do see sirens, or I'm sorry, the lights from the paramedics, so they're on scene. Station 8 Charles 1097, fire EMS on scene.
Hey Charles, 97.
So for this instance, they're already here, so they've already assessed.
Do you get out and check and double check?
We still make sure that everything's okay. I try to obtain a name of a person or a date of birth. I don't want to interfere with what they need or what they're doing.
Brian, let's get out and just stay out of the way, but see what the camera picks up. Okay, we're at the scene at the wharf at Fort Hueneme Beach, and we have an eyewitness as to what happened to this gentleman.
Yeah, well, we're on the side over there hanging out with my friends, and then a gentleman came over and tell us to come and help this guy that was on the ground. Like, he fell on the ground and cracked his head open, and so we saw a lot of bleeding out of his head. So we just came and helped him, like put him in a sitting position because he was like on the ground.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
There he is.
And there he is. So we give him as much as help that we can, and then we call the police right away, you know, the ambulance.
How long before it didn't take the ambulance to get here?
Like, it took like not too much to get it. It came out really quick, so that's good.
5 minutes or so, right?
Like 3 minutes the most, so that was pretty good. Thanks to the paramedics, you know what I mean?
Okay. And what's your name?
My name is Daniel.
Daniel, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
There you go.
We responded to a medical call reference a subject that had fell over on the concrete by the bathrooms here at the pier. Fire department responded, and luckily he was fortunate enough to have a friend with him that was able to provide his name and date of birth. He'll be transported to St. John's for some of his injuries that he sustained for the fall.
He just needs stitches or something like that?
He has some lacerations on his forehead. He's complaining of pain to his right arm, but he basically said his right knee buckled under him, so which caused the fall.
Well, we just spoke to an eyewitness, and they ran over and got to him first, and they called 911, and they said that the ambulances were here in like 3 minutes or so, and then of course we followed right up. So response time, fabulous, fabulous. Okay, all right, let's get back in the car and continue our exciting tour.
Thank you. Some of the witnesses that had come by there.
Okay, we're headed back to wherever we were going, I suppose. So if you want to just point out any things that you know about certain areas that you guys look at and check on as we're going to the other side of town, I guess.
So right now we're kind of on the south end of our city, and I'm going to go conduct some foot patrol over by Miranda Park. We do get complaints regarding some of the transients that start encampments to the back of Surfside 4, which is the community here. It's a gated community. But there is a bridge in between there, between the Surfside 4 complex and Miranda Park. And it's a little bit hidden, so they like to start setting up camps.
Hey, Charles. Jump out 10-6.
You want to get out and walk around?
Get, pulls out here and because the greenery is the way it is. They'll see,
Let's turn around and explain what are we doing right here? What are you looking for?
So we are conducting foot patrol in Miranda Park. These are the tennis courts here. You have the basketball courts east of this location. Some of the complaints we get from the citizens is that people are frequenting the back here and some of the little mounds that we have in the grass, setting up encampments, or maybe using narcotics, sometimes maybe even drinking alcohol.
Makes a nice little diversion for wind and rain or whoever have it or stuff, where they can be a little bit protected.
Right. And instead of just walking on the path here, I like to get up higher so I can get a vantage point of the view and see downward and see where they're at. Back towards the back south of where we're at is the railroad, and they'll go back there as well.
Yeah.
So we'll walk around the whole park.
Especially if they ever open up this rail line, there's a lot of things they're going to have to do.
They're going to have to come back a little bit.
They'll have to come back, and they're going to have to build a protective fence, I believe, to keep.
From that side.
Oh no,
In between.
both sides to keep people from coming onto the tracks, kids especially, since you have a park here.
So we're going to hop off over here.
Okay.
We've had some issues that people are leaving property here.
Leaving what?
Property?
Oh, property.
Or setting up encampment.
Yeah, this is where the Public Works Department asked us to keep it trimmed as best we could.
It's kind of hidden too, so I think that's one
Yeah.
reason that attracts people to come and set up stuff here.
Officer Sterna has headed over to a garbage container. There's somebody going through it, and I'm sure she just wants to check out what they're doing. And this way. Yeah. Okay, you stopped this gentleman. What did you find out?
I conducted a consensual contact. I greeted him and kind of asked him if he lived in the area. we have a lot of people that go around the trash cans in the park or by the beach that collect recyclables. He's unemployed, and he says that's the way he's making his money. I was able to obtain his name, his date of birth, so I ran a records check of him, and everything was fine. I just advised him if he's going to be collecting recyclables that to make sure that not to have the trash fall over out of the trash can, because again that creates a problem for the community here. And he was fine with that, and just had a casual conversation and advised him, and he was on his way.
Great, well handled.
It's a big team effort with the community and with the police department is building that relationship that, you know, we're out here, we're not only chasing bad guys or arresting people, but we also do our share of social work in the sense of if it's a contact, you know, whether it's a lost child or whether somebody's struggling with some issues where it comes to mental, you know, a lot of the emotional or mental illnesses that are happening, that sometimes maybe people are self-medicating or don't know that there's resources out there to help them. But it's a big part of a team effort when it comes to our community and the police.
Do you guys have we're by the base now, do you have interaction with the naval base police?
We do. A lot of times we have some people that either have been drinking or maybe disoriented, possibly some mental issues, that want to access the base and go into the base. So sometimes we'll get calls from the front gate, whether somebody's doesn't seem quite right, is acting a little bit bizarre, like I said, maybe having some mental issues. We get called out there and we'll talk to the person and try to figure out what's going on, if they need any kind of medical attention or if they need any kind of additional help. And we'll interact with them that way as well. At times we do get calls where you have somebody that's been drinking and will actually drive onto the base, and they'll give us a call to kind of assist with that as well. But they're in charge of their own policing at the base. You know, our city consists of a 4.6-mile radius. It's the layout of the city. That they have their own police force that polices inside the Navy base. But we do work very frequently.
All right, we're driving behind the 99-cent store, and officer, you're just checking out things, making sure everything is in place, nothing is going on.
Nothing's going on, or people back here. We had some sheriff tagging back here as well.
A big part of your job, when there's nothing, you know, call not in progress, is checking out areas that you know things can happen and your presence prevents it.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's either conducting just a drive through to the area or maybe even close to the area, because you obviously see a lot more on foot than you can in a car. An element of surprise as well.
Okay, officer, we're at the 99-cent shopping center, and you were talking to one of their security guards, and he was giving you information about stuff that goes on here. So can you tell us just a little bit about how that helps you, and then we're going to take a walk around the perimeter just to see what's going on today.
So the 99-cent store, it's a shopping center, consists of a KFC, a laundromat, a liquor store, some other smaller shops. We have a lot of people that come in, shop in the area, a lot of thefts that are happening. He gave me some information regarding people that are here in the parking lot as well, possibly using narcotics. A lot of the activities happening. You know, I think it's important that any officer, obviously there's some officers that I don't see because I work normally the weekends, but I think a key thing is also the information sharing. So we have somebody like the store manager that says, hey, this is what's going on in this feed or at this time or in this area. It's very important that I get that to my peers as well, because that way if I'm not working, they're also aware of the situation. They're also aware to be able to go out to these places and conduct a patrol, engage with the public to see what other concerns they may have. And it may not even be something in the shopping center, maybe something in their neighborhoods, but again, that the information, to have that information is crucial.
Well, you have a lot of extra eyes here that really help you, and it's for their own benefit, for their business and for the people who come there to shop. That would turn people away real quickly if there was a lot of stuff going on here that would deter them from wanting to be around.
Right. And a lot of the merchants like that the officers can buy and make sure that everybody's doing okay, or if there's any concerns. You engage, again, it's all about building that community trust, so that you get that information. A lot of stuff, you know, some people are a little hesitant to come talk to you. They may not want to talk to you in their home or near their home. For who's watching me, who's seeing that the police come to my home, or they may actually approach you in a shopping center in just a casual conversation. Hey, you know, this is what's going on in my neighborhood. Can you come by, or can you see what's going on, or a concern about a neighbor. You know, we have a lot of calls too, where it comes from the community itself, that they let us know what's going on.
Well, things look awfully calm today, and a beautiful day, and I'm sure that gets people out of their house and out shopping.
Yes.
Okay, we'll head back to the car and go visit the next place.
This is one of our larger shopping centers. It consists of a Rite Aid, Big Lots. You have a IHOP restaurant, a large Ralph's grocery store, a lot of smaller restaurants and shops, a couple of banks. But it's one of our larger shopping centers in the area. We do have some problems with some of the transients or people loitering in the back of the businesses, sometimes dumpster diving or drinking, using narcotics, but it's probably one of the biggest, busiest shopping centers we have in our city.
So we're going to go back behind the buildings and make sure nothing illegal is going on. Okay, we were driving down by Ralph's in the shopping center on Channel Islands, and the officer spotted somebody. Looked like they were probably passed out or sleeping on the grass, and she's just going to check them out.
There he is.
Okay, we found the subject and moving around. There's a couple of them. They want to check not just why they're here, but are they okay, or do they need any help? So it's always trying to help if you are in that situation. Okay, you checked out the guys that were in the shade tree on the grass, and what were they up to?
Well, when I initially passed by, I did see somebody that appeared to either be passed out or sleeping. I wanted to make sure that they were okay physically and not, needing medical attention or maybe a transit in the area. I stopped and I did contact them, and I did see as I approached on foot closer to them that they were with the maintenance crew, and they were okay. They were just taking a break and taking a little siesta.
So a little bit of good PR, let them know that you care about...
Make sure they're okay.
Make sure they're okay. Great. All right. Well, we're going to, I guess, tour rest of the shopping center, and you can explain to us what areas you are looking for, what you think might be going on.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Check something out.
I'll
Oh,
talk to this person.
okay. We see a guy here on a bicycle behind the store with an iPhone, and just wants to check out and make sure he's okay. And
Hey, Charles.
Behind the Ralph.
Officer Tapia. Okay, the officer found a gentleman behind Ralph's, is it?
Yes.
Behind Ralph's, and he had a bicycle and some other stuff. And so what went on? What did he tell you? And I see he's being taken back to the police station.
Yes. So as I approached here, I did see a brown bag. I did see an open container where I believed to be alcohol. As I engaged him in conversation, I smelled the strong odor of alcohol. His eyes were kind of bloodshot, watery. Asked him if he had any identification. He kind of kept trying to stand up on me. I told him, you know what, right now you just seem you had too much to drink. He provided 3 different names for me. I don't believe that he can care for himself. He's not telling me who he is. Based on my training experience, sometimes people will not give me or be truthful about their identity, possibly have a warrant. He's not able to tell me an address for him. I asked him if I could search him just to see if he had any kind of identification on his person. He gave me permission to search him. He did not have any identification. As I searched him, I noticed that he had urinated on himself, so that's another sure sign that he's so intoxicated that he can't care for himself. So he's being arrested for public intoxication. And then also I'm going to try to identify who he is.
Okay. Well, it's been an interesting day so far. In an hour and a half, we've had 3 or 4 little contacts. So it's nice to see you guys keep busy.
We do.
Okay.
For sure.
Let's get back and we'll head to the next place we're in, or whatever happens between now and
Then.
when our film runs out.
Okay,
All
great.
right.
Thank you.
What do you do from this point on?
So at this point, the person is going to be transported over to the police department. My concern is his well-being. He did not provide his name, or wasn't able to do so. He gave me 3 different names. He wasn't able to provide a date of birth. I asked him for permission to search him, to try to maybe find a wallet or some form of identification. He went ahead and agreed to
me conducting a search, and when I searched him, I did notice that he had urinated on himself.
8.1060.
So that's another sure sign that he's not well enough, and his level of intoxication is to the point where now he's urinating on himself. I only saw the one 24 ounce of beer that he had open, but he potentially may have consumed more beer somewhere else.
Okay, so when you get to the police station, you'll let him sit and get
I'll,
back into shape?
I'll try to fingerprint him to get his identity. I'll put him in what we call a soft cell, let the alcohol subside, let him sleep it off for a little bit. Once I get his identity, I'll run a records check with the person, make sure he doesn't have a warrant or anything else. And if he doesn't, then we'll just let the alcohol subside and then he'll be released.
Okay, we'll head back, and you do have some work to do with him, so we'll end this ride, and it's been very enlightening and informative, and maybe a little bit of entertainment in there, I don't know, but it's really nice to see what you guys go through, even though when there's nothing major going on, you still have a lot of stuff that requires your attention.
Yes.
Also, Sterna, that was a really interesting ride we had with you. I thank you so much for, letting us in on what you guys do, and we saw you in action. And I think all of our viewers will have a better understanding of the police and what they do and how vital you are to the city of Port Hueneme.
Well, thank you for coming out and riding and seeing what we do. Again, I think for me personally, it's important to have the community members build trust, and us as the officers also build trust with them, so that we can have that communication that goes back and forth, so that we can prevent crime, so that we can make that connection, so that they understand that it's just not us running after bad guys, but we also provide another service to our community members.
And if there's other things that you guys do that you'd like the people to know, let us know, and we'll come out and do another ride. I know one thing we had talked about was the HARP program, which is something I think the people would love to know about, or any other programs you have like that, or stuff you do at the holidays or different things. We'd love to cover it and let people know.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.